Hey, happy Tuesday. How are you, manifestors? How are you? What's up? What's up? I am Lisa Mehta, and my business is Metamorfize. And every Tuesday I go live with a different topic, and today we are going to be talking about procrastination. Oh shit. If you relate to procrastination, give me a little icon or a thumbs up over here, because I just dove into some serious procrastination research in the last 2 days, and I'm kind of blown away with how much content I have to cover today. I thought I was just gonna like pop on in here and just talk a little bit about postponement and whatnot, but actually, procrastination is like really deep and rich with so much mind mastery, actually. So mind mastery is what I do, and what is mind mastery? Mind mastery is all about how you navigate your mind, and procrastination, which is what we're talking about. Oh, hey, if you're joining me, what's up? What's up? Talking about procrastination today. If you have ever procrastinated in your life, drop me an icon or a thumbs up, because I think that we all have this experience with procrastination, however it manifests in your life. It's basically, actually, I do like to quickly, let me connect a few dots. Okay, so procrastination, I wanted to talk about it because, oh, hey, from Miami Beach, what's your name? And have you ever procrastinated in your life? So I have a form that people fill out when you join my Next Level Manifestors group, and that basically it says what is holding you back from creating whatever you want to create in your life. And I would say, like, procrastination is one of the biggest, the most common answers that I get. So I wanted to talk about procrastination also because, hey, Tony, I've just been noticing myself actually being a little procrastination. So I was investigating it, and like, why am I not getting off the couch? Why am I not doing the things that I say I want to be doing? Especially when I know that they bring me joy or they make me feel good, you know? It's like, why? So I also wanted to talk about the fact that procrastination and manifesting, which is what I help people do, you know, through mind mastery, is to create the life that you desire, you know, be the creator of your life. And to be the creator of your life, you need to develop relationships, at least this is what I call it, with your emotional portfolio. What does that mean? It means that you develop these relationships with the parts of ourselves, whether it's procrastination or fear or sadness or joy, you know, like each one of these is a messenger. Each one we learn to identify, notice when it comes up, and move through it. If you can move through things quicker when you develop these relationships with it. So procrastination is a huge opportunity to move through when you'll notice it comes up a lot around manifesting. And when I was writing my notes out, I was thinking to myself, you know, when does procrastination come up the most for me? It comes up when when I want to embark on a personal, like, creative journey where it's not for a client that has me holding me responsible or accountable, but it's for myself, where there's like nobody else telling me to do it except me, myself, and I. So like, if I go to paint, that's the worst one for me. Like that feeling of staring at the blank canvas and just being like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. And you know why? Because what I investigated and learned here is, oh my God, like how much procrastination is, first of all, a symptom. It is not, it's not the problem. It is, let me see, I wrote here, yeah, it's not the problem. It's a symptom of our relationship with transitions, with resistance, and with fear, which all underneath the belly here has to do with self-worth. And I did not expect this talk today to be about self-worth. Actually, I did not connect those dots in the beginning. I always listen to a bunch of TED Talks before and see what other people are saying, and it was really interesting to hear this one guy talk about, he called it the self-worth theory, which has to do with performance, ability, and worth. And it's true. It's like, I thought about, what are those things that I say to myself when I go to do the creative project, or when I know I want to work out because it makes me feel amazing. And that's the other place where procrastination, like getting off the couch and transitioning to movement. And I realize, it comes down to all of the things that I say to myself, oh my God, this is going to be hard. I don't know what I'm doing. What if I can't? And all of those are just a barrier, because you're either afraid of success or you're afraid of failure, which then has to do with your self-worth. Part of it. The other part is really learning to navigate your mind. So when those things come up, you are equipped to say, stop it. Like you have the training and the ability to snap your own mind out of a looping negative thought and take it into positive action. And I teach this because this is exactly what I had to learn for myself to get my earth energy grounded, super because that's what I am for a lot of people and for myself, into motion. Transitions have always been super, super hard for me. If you can identify with that, again, I don't know if I can see comments on Facebook. This is like the second time this has happened. Let me see actually if I open up a different browser while I'm doing this talk. Hold on a sec. I guess I need to figure out how to get this back. Let me see here. We're talking about procrastination. What do you think about procrastination? I would love to hear your thoughts. Oh, okay, let's see. All right, I can pull those comments up later. Yeah, so procrastination. Another kind of like mind-blowing moment here that I learned today was that, I talk a lot about the science of change, which is also talking about actually how your mind is wired. And I read this thing today. I have to pull it up because it's very fresh for me. But somebody was writing about the science of procrastination, which I thought was an interesting thing. And the one part that was like mind-blowing in a way was to read that actually that our minds are wired for procrastination, which I was like, what does that even mean? So it breaks down the limbic system and the prefrontal cortex. So your limbic system, which is the most dominant part of your brain. So it's always working, and it's the part of your brain that is fully developed from birth, and it controls your mood and instinct. So basic emotions like fear, anger, pleasure, and as well as like drives like libido are under the control of this system. So it's what tells you to move your hand if you get near like a cactus or anything that might seem unpleasant. But your prefrontal cortex, it's the weaker part of your brain, which I don't even know, like weaker, but I guess less dominant. And it's located right behind your forehead. And this is where you assimilate information and make decisions. So if you're thinking about procrastination is really about making decisions. And the work that I do, the mind mastery work, is learning basically how you uniquely need to learn how you make decisions. Because we're all different. And when you're making decisions, procrastination is one of those relationships you need to develop, but so is resistance. Because when we come up against wanting to make a decision that feels either hard or uncomfortable, we're going to have to learn to move through resistance. And the way I see resistance is that resistance is actually the gatekeeper to where you want to go next. So instead of being like, getting frustrated with it, you learn to lean into it. And I teach so many different hacks on how to do that in actually my 30 Days to Change program, which just started. Today we're on day 2 already, but I'm launching the next round in October. So if you missed this round, the 30 Days to Change is built to help you individually work through transitions through doing one thing for 5 minutes a day, only 5 minutes. That's the key thing. It's a 5-a-day method. And through this process of learning to just move through 5 minutes, because when I talk about some of my hacks here, you're going to, one of the hacks is that we take on things that are too big. So of course it's like, oh, I see it in myself. Oh, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. In fact, I just committed to, I thought I was going to commit to a friend. We were going to do the 12-week, this workout thing that we did last summer. And like going from where I am right now in my schedule, I was just like, okay, this is a setup for failure. And we did like a practice week last week, and I was like, oh my God, I started freaking out. So I asked myself, okay, well, what's doable here? Because I need to you have to learn to set yourself up for success. And especially when it comes to working out, you know, something actually is better than nothing. So if I can't do 5 days a week, going from 0 days, well, why not just do 1 day? Why not do 2 days? Why not commit to 5 minutes of moving every day? Okay, I digress a little here. So the part of this brain is prefrontal cortex, which technically it's called, you know, the less dominant part. That means it's going to be overridden by the more dominant part, so that when we come up to make decisions, it takes effort. And if we aren't prepared to like muster up the energy to take the effort to make the decisions, which have to do with focusing on particular tasks, the other system, the limbic system, is going to take over, which has a lot to do with momentary satisfaction, something that's easy and in the moment, because that's actually the animal mind. So animals they have the limbic system, but this is what differentiates us from animals, is this ability to have a rational mind, to make decisions. So that's why I'm always talking about our default versus, you know, this is our programming, default versus design. You have to learn to harness the power within you to challenge this part of you, pull it forward, take effort so that you are moving something forward. So anyway, I'm not going to get too crazy with some of the science stuff, but basically when I was reading like, oh, our minds are wired, our brains are wired this way, I hope that helps some of you who do maybe suffer from a heavy amount of procrastination, to make you realize like, wow, okay, this is just how I'm wired. So I need to understand the science first, and then create a pathway that works for you to move through resistance, to learn to listen to the chatter in your mind, all of the ways that what I realize is that we become master justifiers, right? Procrastination is about, like, literally, you can master the way you justify why you're not going to do something. And oh my gosh, it's like we believe it like wholeheartedly. It's like the truth in that moment, why I have to stay lying on the couch and finish this episode of the whatever Mandalorian, which I watched. That episode, was awesome, or the whole series, it was great. Yeah, so all right, let's look at my notes here, because like I felt so all over the place writing out the notes, because I felt this procrastination is actually so in depth here. So I didn't really get to the definition, which is basically delay or postpone an action. So you're basically putting something off that you know you want to do, or that you said you're going to do. Now, that you said you're going to do is an important one here, because again, the 30 Days to Change was built on my own realization that I said I was going to do something and I wouldn't do it. And over time, years and decades of not doing what I said I was going to do, actually begins to chip away at my ability to trust myself and your ability to trust yourself, which is why I use that example of when I have a client project, I somehow, the accountability and the responsibility and the commitment, I get it done. But keeping your word to yourself is actually the self-mastery that I am personally looking to have and achieve in my life. And I wish for you as well. And that means when you want to do something for yourself, you know how to keep your word to yourself. Because if not, as I just said, you start to chip away at your own, basically, it weakens your decision making. You don't trust yourself. You start to look for the outside around you for answers for what can only be answered from within. So, yeah, and then also wanting to do something is a beautiful thing, because most likely you are looking to evolve and bring your life to a next level. So I don't want you to fear the idea of evolving yourself and changing from a place of love and expansion, which we can do if procrastination takes us down so many times. We get to that what's the point part. We adopt a defeatist mentality. We start to become complacent. We settle and tell ourselves that this is enough, this is good enough, when deep down, it's not, because we're always going to have our higher self trying to pull us into, our higher self awakening and pulling you forward into what you desire next. And if you're shutting that voice down, then you're in a spiritual procrastination, a physical procrastination, and an emotional procrastination. And this is going to then probably have its own kind of drawbacks, whether it's like shoving energy down that creates this dis-ease, feeling like you're missing out in life. You know, I mean, we all experience this differently. When I procrastinate, I don't feel empowered. And procrastination is when I was thinking about, well, what's the opposite of procrastination? Because I'm always looking at everything is traveling with its counterpart. So no one thing, nothing is good or bad. It just is. And we're always in every moment, we have choice of like, so if procrastination is traveling, let's say with motivation, then which one, and I do this because like which one is leading, which one is facing up. And at all times we're going through contraction and expansion. And you'll hear me say this over and over, that the contraction is actually the preparation for an expansion. So what if procrastination was giving you a message that you needed to apply your prefrontal cortex effort part to push into motivation? Motivation is something we all learn in our own ways. It could have been something that was definitely programmed. And then as an adult, you need to take your own responsibility of how you motivate yourself in life. And a lot of this procrastination results in taking action, but ultimately the reason why I'm talking about this is because when you drill it down, the actions and the habits and the behaviors, it's going to come down to your thoughts. It's going to come down to the moment you say, get up, Lisa, we got to go out now, right now. No more wavering. Let's go. All in. Boom, boom, boom. Like you got to like learn how to be your own coach. You have to learn how to talk, you know, I'm always talking about how to turn your inner critic into your inner coach. This is the work. Procrastination is a critic. It is one of the parts of you that is actually trying to protect you. Because if we're coming back down to self-worth, which is what I talked about, procrastination is actually linked to self-worth, which has to do with our fear of failure, our fear of succeeding, and our ability and our achievements. And if we're not feeling secure in what we think we can create and achieve, we end up holding ourselves back to protect ourselves. So everything we're doing in our lives is to protect ourselves. Even when we drink too much, even when we take substances that aren't healthy for us, we're trying to protect a part of us that is either scared or has been hurt so many times, and which is why we circle all the way back to the importance of keeping your word, the importance of learning to set your life up for success so that you flex the muscles, the discipline muscle, the trust muscle, the love muscle, back into strength so it can be strong enough to take the effort to deal with the limbic system, the part of your brain that is dominant, and the part of your brain that actually just wants it to be maybe in the moment and not thinking about later. Because that's what also happens. You know, we have this like momentary gratification part, and then we have the rational mind. And I know, coming from like, you know, suffering from addictions and the way that I had to watch how my mind worked, That was like 100% instant gratification with no thinking about consequence until I was in the shame and the cycle of addiction started to take over. We're not going to go there right now, but yes, it's related. Okay. So relationship with resistance, we talked about, you know, and what is it about starting something that gets so difficult? I have just heard this over and over and over, and I've watched it. So last night I helped my dear friend, she's moving out of the city. I'm so sad, but you know, I offer these high vibe days where I go in and I help people declutter and clear out and create space and move things around. And I just have this, like, I don't know, my natural ability to like see spaces and help people to ask themselves, you know, is this where I'm going, not where I've been, can be applied to space as well. Anyway, I was helping her move some stuff around. We were doing it. And she was like, this is the hard part. It was like going through all the papers. And I was like, all right, well, let's just put them all in one area. And then I'm going to sit here and you're just going to start it. And it was like, I could see her moving to other parts and then didn't want to do it. And she's like, why is there so much resistance to start this? And I was like, exactly. We create that this is going to be hard. We project onto the situation that it's going to be emotional because it was papers. And then as she started, I was just sat there super quiet, watched her, she was just going through it, and boom, before you know it, the papers were gone. And I've seen this so many times. Papers are the hardest part of the going through process. You know, our minds create stories. So, okay, but the whole point of that story was like, she just literally needed someone to support the starting. It had nothing to do with the process. She was holding herself back thinking it was going to be hard, which has to do with projecting into the future. And that's what we do. We think it's going to be hard. But actually, if we just focus on the starting and getting yourself to sit in a chair, which look, I'm having just as much like relationship with this right now. I keep telling myself something is actually a part of my process, and it's all a part of all of our process when we talk to ourselves. And we say things out loud. Like, I use those as manifesting hacks to get me out of the thinking, the talking about it, and then eventually the taking action. So I want you to also embrace that if you're thinking about something over and over again, that's not like, oh my God, why am I looping? Eventually you loop, and you don't get out of it, then that's you procrastinating. But then take it into the talking about it out loud with people, because that brings it into this 3D reality. And then you can hopefully use one of these hacks, which is like, you say this to yourself, you know, for that to happen, what needs to happen? And you try to drill it down. You keep asking. So, okay, I am procrastinating personally. And actually, while I'm writing this, if you are here with me, why don't you tell me something that you're procrastinating on? And maybe we can drill it down. I am personally procrastinating on working on my mind mastery audios. They are meditation tracks. I'm actually creating a series called Program Your Mind For, and then on the Program Your Mind For success, for love, for wealth, for motivation. Like, I have these different words. And I noticed that I'm procrastinating on it. However, I made certain declarations along the way. First is I realized I had to go through a process of what is the next project I want to work on. That took a pretty long time because I needed it to really feel like something that excited me. So I had to sit with, where am I right now? You know, what excites me in my life? What is it? Where do I want to put my creative energy? Where do I want to put my energy? You know, and especially since these are products and offerings that are serving all of you in my community, I wanted to make it something that I enjoy making and that is going to benefit you. So then that was first step, is figuring that out and sitting with myself and asking some self-inquiry questions. After that, I actually I declared it to some of my best friends, where I was like, you know what, I'm ready. I'm going to start. This is my next project. And then I watched days and weeks pass and I didn't do anything. Then I would go into my morning meditation and I was like, we need to actively put energy into thinking about this right now. And I would close my eyes, I'd put the music on, and I would pretend in some ways that this was my meditation. And I was like, okay, what is it that I'd want to hear if I were creating a meditation for wealth or an abundance or love? And I started to just begin the process in my own mind. Then the next step is, in my morning meditation, as I was doing that, I started writing things down, and it just started to come to me slowly. And I'm still procrastinating a little, but at the same time, I'm moving it forward. It's maybe just not as fast, which is something I was going to say that I learned as well about procrastination. Ooh, the comments are coming here. Oh, going through a pile of papers. You have that too, Mindy. Nice. I can help you with that. Papers are the hardest. I was going to say something about time. So we procrastinate. Wait, what did I write here? I wrote the time thing here. So I wanted to talk about that. Oh, the mental activity. Oh my God, what a time saver if you can learn to navigate the part of your brain that's making decisions quicker. You release so much mental space and mental activity. And whenever I talk about mental activity with people, I always want to remind us that if we are always in, let's say, procrastination or like overwhelm or any of these very like any emotion, actually, if we're always in it, like nervousness, we always have to admit that there's a part of us that actually likes that. And I know that's not a nice thing. People don't like it always when I say that. But it's actually a nice thing to say, because it's me giving you radical acceptance that I see you liking that. I like procrastinating because it's keeping me, like, it feels good, as I don't have to then deal with something else that I think is going to feel worse, which is sitting and doing the audios, because I'm afraid that it's going to be hard. Again, looping back to this is going to be hard and I don't want to. And what if I'm not good at it? What if these aren't good? What if I put them, like, oh my God, shut up. That's me, shut up self. So procrastination is actually very predictable. And that's a good thing, because the more predictable it is, the more you can learn how to work with it. And just like I teach, people how to move through their own resistance cycle, you can learn how to move through your procrastination cycle by just getting aware. Like, start to become aware of what you're saying to yourself, how does it manifest? So when you feel procrastination come up, what do? Do you go through your emails? Oh, which brings me to this, my favorite thing in the whole world, which is productive procrastination. I don't know if anyone else talks about this, but I have to say, if you're going to procrastinate, I like to do oh my God, I can't talk today. I like to do productive procrastination. So what the heck is productive procrastination? So let's say I want to do my audios, but I have a whole list of things that I also need to do. Instead of sitting on the couch and watching Netflix or going to the kitchen and checking the refrigerator, even though I just checked it 10 minutes ago, which to me are unproductive things, write my newsletter, reach out to the people that are on my list, get back on a few emails. I know it's crazy to say it like this, because it's like, oh, I'm like making an excuse for my other procrastination. But I don't know. I personally think productive procrastination has its time and place, because it's allowing you to get things done and you're succeeding in them. And in some ways, it's leading you to possibly have this internal, like, I can do it. You're revving an engine that could bring you to that moment where you're like, okay, let's do the thing. It's almost like you accomplished enough little stuff that then you're ready to like push through a bigger resistance piece. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. To me, it's been a very helpful tool. I know that it's something that we think of like, oh no, I'm procrastinating. I'm going through all these emails when I should be writing like an article or something. But I would just go for an accepting it and treating it like actually a part of the process to get to the bigger thing. All right, so I don't know if that's you here still, Mindy, but if it is, I'm going to be picking some tarot cards. So if you want to give me, whoever's on Facebook, give me a number. So I was like, animal cards or Osho card? And I was like, definitely not the animal cards today, because actually it led me to the brain, the science behind procrastination, because I was like, I literally Googled, do animals procrastinate? And that's how I got to the fact that the difference between our brains means no. So I'm picking Osho cards so that we can address the mind quality of procrastination, because the animals are very instinctual. They don't have procrastination. So I think that that's a really great thing. All right, Mindy, we're going to go for number 3. And if anyone else joins us, give me a number. I'm going to pick one for myself today because there's nobody else here. It's just you and me, Mindy, right now. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Ooh, receptivity. Wow, look at that beautiful card of receiving. It's almost like procrastination cannot exist in this image, because procrastination is almost like a blockage of receptivity. Wow. I love this image. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I mean, tell me what you think about that. And if you're just joining me, I think on Instagram, if you want me to pick you a tarot card, just drop me a number. Is that you, Steph? Hey, Steph. Long time. You can just give me a number and I'll pick a card for you. We just got receptivity. Mindy, let me know, like, what is your interpretation of this? Procrastination. We're talking about procrastination and receptivity. Yeah, I just feel like when you're in this feeling of complete flow and everything is moving, it actually can feel effortless, which is what I was talking about, you know, with the parts of our brain, the effortlessness of it. So I'm going to pick myself a card. It's going to be 11. Well, I'm going to pick for anyone else who's watching on the replay. This is for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Woo, new vision. Oh, 7. Okay, I got you, girl. New vision. So, yeah, and you know what? That's the thing. Once you can learn your relationship with procrastination, you actually literally start moving quicker. And this is where the time bending comes in. This is where the manifesting comes in. This is when you are in action, and it's so important to take the smallest actions that you can whenever you can, because it's always moving you forward. It's not about the constant judgment and the justifying that comes with it. I think you got to keep moving. If you keep moving, new vision happens. Ooh, my nails match this. And it's move your body, move your life. You know, movement creates movement. Move. And the new vision appears. It's not a poof moment. It's a collection of words, of thoughts, of sentences, and of actions that lead you to new vision, decisions, and then actions. So everything is just the micro into the macro. The new vision is a collection of micro moments, of micro words, of the words that you're using. Everything strings along. So I love that too for this procrastination. Hey Glenda, what's up? We're picking cards. Okay, Steph, I'm getting you 7 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want a card, Glenda, let me know. Oh my God, this is so crazy. This is the postponement card. This is literally what this entire talk that I've been having today is all about. It's not called procrastination, but it's called postponement. And this is the reminder that, see how this card, it's like all black and white, and that she's looking out into the world of color, and she's starting to just like, it's like as if the vision and the life that she desires is unattainable because she's placing herself outside of her own dream. And when we postpone things long enough, we start to feel super disconnected and pulled out of our own frames in life. So this is the reminder. And I actually, oh, Berna, what's up? I'm doing numbers and I'm doing cards. Drop me a number. I literally looked up this card in preparation for this talk. And It's basically a reminder that tomorrow never comes and that you must start to take action now. Dive back into the color of your life. Feel the fullness, the pleasure, follow the joy, follow the love. Take any action, any action, as small as it needs to be. Examples of this have been this week last week I was in a dark place a few weeks ago in confusion, and I was like, I need to change things up. What do I do? I got on Craigslist and started looking at what piqued my interest for possibly some side gigs, because I like wanted to be around more people. And so just the act of opening Craigslist shifted the trajectory of things. Then it led me to become aware of more things that were happening. My Mexico trip is a great example. I just put it out there. I wanted to go to Mexico. I'm subletting my place. Like, just put something out there, anything. Call a friend. Change it up. Disrupt. All right. I hope that helps, Steph. Let me know if that resonates with you. And Berna, do you want a card? Let me see what number you want. Aloha. 5. Yes, I will give you 5. Wow. Receptivity, new vision, postponement. I can't believe I was like, I wonder if we're going to pick that card today. It's so crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Okay, you got compromise. So, compromise in relation to procrastination, which is what we're talking about today. So for me, this compromise card, I think, has a lot to do with our inner dialogue and the fact that we are in constant negotiation with ourselves when we are moving through things like procrastination. So procrastination is the moment that we have to negotiate, navigate, have compromise with our inner thoughts. So a lot of what I talked about earlier in this talk, and I encourage everyone to go watch this replay because it was really rich. Good morning, Antonio. Drop me a number. We're doing some cards. Is about transforming and turning your inner critic into your inner coach. And I talked about your brain, and actually that we're wired for procrastination, actually. And it kind of blew my mind to learn about the different parts of our brain and how much we're wired for this procrastination to be there, and why it's so hard. You know, we're always like, well, why are we suffering from procrastination? Why is it so hard to start? Well, there's actually a scientific reason for it. So this is a reminder that we must learn to navigate and negotiate with the parts of us that are like, I want to stay on the couch. No, get up. I want to stay on the couch. No, get up. That mental energy is exhausting. And this is what we get addicted to, though, without realizing it, is staying inside of the indecision. I was very guilty of staying inside indecision for so long, and it was the thing that was bringing me the deepest suffering, the most suffering. But I had to admit that I to myself, and maybe that's something you need to admit to yourself these days too, is that your addiction to the indecision and your attachment to the not making a decision and the procrastination and the postponement, it feels good because you think it's better than what you have to go through or what's on the other side if you were to take action. All in your mind, though. Stay focused in the next tiny little step, like we do, Berna, in 30 Days to Change, which, by the way, everyone, the next round is starting in October. I'm going to start picking them up and doing them more often. We got the October one, and we're doing a January one. Hope that helps. Let me know if that resonates, Berna. Good to see you on here. All right, 16. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. Ooh, perfect, especially with this conversation around procrastination, because this is the other thing that happens to us. There's always a part where I start singing something. So, patience. I mean, it's unbelievable how impatient we are, and our relationship with time. And the fact that, I mean, it's actually not our fault, right? We live in a very now society. I mean, response time, speed of internet, speed of everything. If it's not literally right now, right now. We have lost the art of patience. And it's really funny too, though, because what's kind of just coming to me right now is procrastination is actually a I want to say like not useful. It's kind of like a not useful. What's the word I'm trying to say? I'm like losing my own words. Unproductive. It's an unproductive movement through time. Patience is possibly a productive movement of time. So you know what I'm saying here? It's like procrastination, unproductive. Like literally, it's unproductive. You're not doing the thing that you want to do. You're postponing it. Patience is you've made a move. You've taken action. You are moving something forward, even if it's very small. Like this is a woman who is pregnant. She has 9 months of patience. Something is growing. So she took action. There's a seed, that's been planted, and now it's growing. It's a productive form of patience, which I always say expectation is basically knowing that something's about to happen instead of the bad rap that expectation gets. Anyway, I have never thought about it that way, so I appreciate you for like this moment here with this card, because I never ever thought about that way. So Antonio, let me know what you think. Does that resonate with you? And anyone else that heard that, like, what do you think? Because like I've never thought about that like that. All right. Whew. That was cool. That was fun. So we got some really powerful cards today. Receptivity, which procrastination doesn't really have a place if you're fully open in the receptive energy, because this is fully open and in flow. There's no blocks here. And procrastination it can be seen as a block, but it's also a gateway. New vision, step by step, micro moments will get you to a new vision. Postponement, the reminder that if you're not living your fullest life, you're living on the outside. Compromise, turn your inner critic into your inner coach. This is how you can navigate your mind and move through life so that you are the creator of your life. You must learn to have inner dialogue with yourself. Again, inner critic to inner coach. Be your own coach. Navigate your mind. Learn how to use conscious decision making. Learn how you uniquely move through change. These are all things that I help people with. I have a few spots open for private coaching. If this work is something that you need to help navigate you to get to where you are, to where you're going to go, no matter what it is in your life, I can help hold the space for you to grow. And then we've got patience. Procrastination, unproductive time, movement through time. Patience, potentially productive movement through time. That's the recap today. I'm wishing you all the most fabulous, fluid enjoyment as you look at your own procrastination. And let me know if you have any questions, how I can support you. Yes, definitely resonates. Patience has become a big factor in my life. Learn to live the moment, and life will take its course. Yes. Well, that's a little bit of what I talked about today, is this fine line of living the moment, because the moment is also linked potentially to momentary satisfaction and can then prevent you from taking the action on the procrastination. Anyway, go listen to it. I don't want to get back into that, but yes, always living the moment is the best, and learning how to navigate. If you're living the moment and you are also able to do the things that you say you're going to do, then awesome. Then you're golden. You're doing it. All right. You're welcome, everybody who's saying thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. This has been a powerful talk for me. I've learned a lot, and I'm so loving everybody. Reach out if you need anything, a free vision call if you'd like a coach to work with. That would be me, motivation coach, mind mastery coach, manifestation coach, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to help you get to where you're trying to go. So have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all very soon. See you next week. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, just DM me, and I will do that. All right, bye.